Good morning and welcome into the Morning Burrito. You're taking pictures.
Oh, yeah, it's a good day.
It is Tuesday at 10 a.m. and I am Michael.
I'm Eric.
And I'm Gabrielle.
Special guest.
We have a special guest this morning. Hey, we are excited to be with you. It is Christmas season. Yes.
Merry Christmas.
We are past Thanksgiving. We missed you guys last week, but we are back, and we are excited to spend this morning talking about Christmas traditions. We talked about this last year a little bit, but we're going to kind of take a different path, and we're going to talk a lot about our over-indulgence in Christmas.
Do you think they remember the path from last year we took?
Some of them might.
If
We
you-
have some pretty faithful
don't.
listeners.
If you remember the path we took last year, let us know.
It may have been me with the dancing cactus
Oh, that's right.
talking
It
about
might- it might
traditions.
have been.
I'm not really sure.
Might have been.
But anyway, we will be right back with the Morning Burrito.
Whoa.
All right, we are back. That was funny. We are back with the Morning Burrito. I am Michael again, and thank you, Gabe, for spending this time with us today. We
You're
are so glad to have you.
welcome.
We're letting you out of the box a little bit.
Never been on a show with you, I don't think.
No.
I've always been your
That's-
fill-in.
That's not true.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The live show you were on with us,
Oh, that's
both
true.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
down at
Okay.
the old Java Junkies.
That's true.
And we have we forgot to talk about this. We have ambiance with green. You see,
Oh, look at you. Fancy.
It's Christmas.
Ho,
it's
ho, ho.
Christmas. Hey, so we are going to talk about traditions this morning, Christmas traditions. And one of the traditions that we have in our country for Christmas that I don't quite understand. And in pre-show, Gabriel, you didn't want us to talk about this subject, but we're going to talk about it anyway because I want to talk about it.
What did I say?
Don't talk about fruitcake.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta
So-
talk about fruitcake.
So this is a tradition I just don't get. I'm not trying to be offensive to those of you who are watching who love yourself some fruitcake, but you have fruit, which is good. You have cake, which is
Totally
awesome, and you put them together, and all of a sudden it makes nasty garbage.
Yeah.
Meow.
Yeah. Yep.
I do not understand. Have you had fruitcake?
Yeah, I've had it.
Do you like it?
I've tasted it. I've had it as a door stopper. I've had it as a paperweight. Yeah, I've used it.
Oh, man. I don't think I have maybe just like a bite before. So there's no hate on fruitcake for me because I don't think I've honestly tried it good enough. So if you give me a fruitcake, I would probably have a bite of it.
Okay, let's hold
Not
up here.
gonna lie.
You just went offensive on everybody because we didn't use the word hate. We said we don't
Well-
understand. That's a big difference.
Well, okay. Well, he quoted me wrong at
This
the
is not
beginning.
a hate show.
He said don't. You said don't talk about fruitcake. I didn't say that. I said don't talk so much about it.
Well,
we get it.
that's
You don't like
same
it.
difference.
But I would try it.
Wow.
So, church family, if you're watching this and you want to know what you can get our esteemed office manager here, what you can get her for Christmas,
Load her up.
load her up with fruitcakes.
I just want a bite of a really good one.
And here's
I'm
the
sure
good
they exist.
here's the good news. You know, Pastor Eric's not going to eat them when they get to her house
Nope.
No, it's all hers.
because she is your oldest child, but
She
she
is.
also does live at home.
She does.
I do. So it would.
And her gifts are her gifts.
That's
That is true.
I guess. Unless I share.
Especially in this.
Yeah, it's nice living with three boys in that regard. Your gifts are your gifts; they aren't stealing them from you,
Well.
unless it's technology,
sometimes
I suppose.
they do. But okay.
That is true.
All right, so.
Oh man.
What is, Gabrielle, your favorite Fritz family tradition?
Well, I think one of my favorite parts of like Christmas morning is the way that we do presents. Is we do it one at a time. Everyone opens up the present. We go around the circle or like oldest to youngest.
It takes like all day sometimes.
And then yeah.
So-
Definitely up to lunch.
So it's not
Yeah,
like it's not
chaos.
it's not like Home Alone where
No.
Home Alone 2 where I think it's Buzz. He's like, "All right, here's one for Kevin cuz Kevin got us into this nice amazing hotel." And then he's like, "All right, then we'll start with me and then the rest of you."
Yeah, no.
No.
One by one. Share the love.
That sounds
Yeah.
very tedious.
But then you can see what you got someone.
We've tried that in my family. Now, with my girls, first of all, Clara, the youngest, she didn't really. I mean, she didn't open gifts last year.
She likes wrapping
she was a
paper
baby.
most.
Yeah, she was a wrapping paper kid. But with Harper, Harper and Clara get the gifts. Mom and I don't get many gifts, so we just let the kids open them, and then we'll open our gifts. Just let the kids do their thing. Eric, what's your favorite family tradition?
Well, we don't really have a lot of family traditions. We're not that. I would say we're not that family that don't have same thing every year. Some things we do, I guess, like chocolate covered cherries.
Yes.
Totally tradition. One of the faves. I get like 5 boxes a year.
It's gross.
They're awesome.
That's nasty.
Yeah. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner for like a month. It's
Cool.
great.
Just
Well,
a
they didn't
bun-
even last a month, honestly.
No,
so
they don't.
I was gonna say, do
Um,
they make it past Christmas weekend?
yeah, no. Sometimes.
Make it to
Um,
New Year's.
Sometimes. Well, no, hardly to New
Maybe.
Year's. But I don't know. I'd say probably one of the
He's working on the last
my
line.
favorite times of the year is probably because things are slow. I like the change of pace of Christmas. You would think that maybe it would be a faster pace, right? Because we're always talking about the fast pace of Christmas.
Go, 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 Christmas.
But from my standpoint now, as a lead pastor, who makes the calendar, it can kind of be slow, and I've enjoyed that. I've enjoyed the change of pace at Christmas, to where I can be with family, I can be with church family, I can
It's really go, go, go to plan. Once you
is.
have it planned, it's pretty much
then
done.
it's just kind of there.
You sail. So for me, my favorite family tradition is, well, I have a few of them. So number one, I love to read "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" to my girls on Christmas Eve. After we get home from our Christmas Eve service, we have dinner together, and then that's what we do before the girls go to bed. Is I read "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" to them, and we've kind of morphed that into. I forgot about this in our pre-show meeting, but we also read Luke 1 and 2 and talk through the Christmas story as well, because I felt like Santa, not enough Jesus. We need more Jesus. So we do that, and then as far as like non-religious or like just a family thing, my wife and I every Christmas since we've been married, we sit down before we go to bed and we watch a Christmas movie. It doesn't really matter. It means we pick one and we just sit and watch it together, just the two of us.
Just one.
Oh yeah, I can't stay up that late. Are you nuts?
They only watch just one.
By the time we get home from the Christmas service and then eat dinner, and we actually open gifts on Christmas Eve. So we open the grandma and grandpa gifts on Christmas Eve, and then the girls get their mom and dad and Santa gifts on Christmas Sunday, or Christmas Day rather. So yeah, we let them open on both nights. So
Man, that's
or
cool.
both days.
So if you read
Wow.
the story on like 2 days early, would that totally mess up your kids?
The "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" story.
Yeah. You should
Oh.
try that.
Oh, that would mess me up.
You should do it.
If I had a way to set the calendar,
Yeah,
that would be fun.
That's not going to happen.
That might be a new tradition.
As far as candy, though, you brought up cordial cherries. My wife knows. I mean, we've been married long enough now that she's got it down. When she fills my stocking not just with like a few choice candies. My wife will buy a bag, and even my mother-in-law. I just got actually a whole bag to myself of Reese's for Christmas.
Ooh.
Reese's cups, but like they're mystery shapes. So I don't even know I don't know if that means I'm gonna get Halloween
Ooh.
ones in my Christmas bag.
It's a present within
Interesting.
a present.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my wife will give me a whole bag of Reese's. Usually it's the little mini ones that are like gold and green and red and stuff. And then my absolute favorite, and this only happens at Christmas time, so I love it, the Andes mints that are
Oh.
ginormous. Like they're not the
Yeah.
little tiny ones,
Yeah.
they're the big ones.
Yeah,
Wow.
nice.
She buys those Andes mints.
She
Santa.
buys them?
Well, a lot.
Have you been known
No.
to buy them for yourself?
No comment.
You buy them for yourself.
I am not going to say, I will neither confirm nor deny that they've already been purchased this year, and 2 bags have already been eaten in my
Yeah,
house.
guilty as
Oh,
charged.
man.
And I will neither confirm nor deny that I ate all of them. I'm just saying, it could have
Claudia,
happened.
we know the truth.
And then I almost forgot, but this has changed recently. But it used to be at Christmas time every year was the only time that you could get the Oreos with the vanilla, or not vanilla, but the white chocolate around, like they were coated, the white fudge or whatever, white chocolate fudge.
I don't think I've ever had that experience.
Oh yeah,
No, me
so
neither.
they had these Oreos that were covered in white fudge, and they would come in a special package, and it was only at Christmas time. They were my sister and I's favorite thing at Christmas. And now they have them all the time, and they have all the different types of Oreos with coatings on them and things. But
I'm missing out.
Yeah.
they
same.
were really good. Yeah, yeah.
Good.
A lot of my
Nice.
Christmas traditions surround food,
That's okay.
specifically things I shouldn't be
Traditions
eating.
are good.
So one of the other traditions that unfortunately we have is overindulging ourselves. One of the statistics that we've been telling our people here at HermNaz is that across the planet at Christmas time, we spend $1 trillion every year on average.
Nuts.
That's crazy.
1 trillion.
That's a lot.
That's 12 zeros,
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
zeros.
right? 12? Yeah, 12
I don't
zeros.
know.
12,
Something like that.
12 zeros. That's nuts. I mean, that is absolutely crazy towns to me. Why is it that we spend so much money on Christmas?
Go, Gabe.
Well,
And by the way, just as an aside, that's 1 trillion for the entire planet. The United States makes up probably over half of that. Probably somewhere between 500 and 600 billion of that is the United States.
Wow.
yeah, that's a lot of money. I feel like there's an obligation. I gotta get a gift for you. I have to get a gift for them. It's like I have to do it. I don't know.
Why do you feel like why would you, not you personally, but the
Yes.
royal you, why would people feel like they have to get gifts for people? Where does that obligation come from?
Well, you know,
I gotta
if
say it. Duty.
it's your duty to
Duty.
give
I
a
waited all day to
gift.
say duty.
It's your
I got it
duty.
in there.
Just don't give duty gifts.
Gabrielle, in our pre-show, we didn't talk about this, but when you prepare to give gifts at Christmas, or even birthdays for that matter, are you the kind of person that, I think I know the answer to this about your dad, that's why I'm not asking him. Are you the kind of person that will spend a significant amount of time either making or finding something that is specific to the person you're buying the gift for? Or are you the kind of person that says, I'll just get him a gift card?
Man, usually I don't give gift cards. I like to think of a gift if I can. Sometimes it's hard, not gonna lie. So I'm like, here's a gift card for a store I think you would like not Amazon, be like a specific store.
That's
but
my
yeah,
favorite
no,
store.
Yeah, well,
That's where almost everything I
See?
buy comes from is
I
Amazon.
like to be a little thoughtful in my gifts. Is that what you were expecting me to say?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
I figure, so I've known you guys now for over 2 years, and the one thing I know about Gabe is that Gabe really, really is an intentional person. So it would have surprised me if you would have said that you just buy
Give
gift
you
cards
gift
for
cards.
people. Like
Nah.
you're the kind of person that'll spend time, I would imagine, in the workshop making something or crafting something because you want it to be personal to the person you're giving the gift to.
That was a good assumption. Good job.
Eric, what about you?
I love receiving gift cards.
That's not the question I asked.
I know. Yeah, so like the gift card thing kind of has made us lazy, hasn't it? I mean, it really is out of duty.
That's still
Yeah.
not the question I asked.
What was the question?
I was asking, are you the kind of person that would make a gift or spend a lot of time in the store finding the exact
So,
right gift
okay,
or
so-
the gift card?
So make a gift, probably not, right? That's more my son that'll make the gift. But I think that's a tricky question.
I think
actually.
you're really thoughtful.
No, he's asking me what I
Yeah,
do.
but
Me.
but
me.
you
Me.
It's always about you.
You are the guest on this show.
I've seen Pastor Eric give his family some really thoughtful gifts
Yeah,
before.
there you
That's
go.
biased.
That's good. That's good. But I do think that sometimes you give gifts at Christmas to say thank you, just a simple thank you for people's service. That's probably more of a generic gift, right? I mean, I'm putting thought into, okay, I want to say thank you. What's a good all-around gift? So it's the same for everybody, so nobody feels like, oh, you like me better than somebody else kind of thing, right? I mean, so that's
Or
a
you don't
generic
like
gift.
me as much as you like somebody
Yeah, okay,
else.
or you can take the negative spin on it. But yeah, but given some thought into, even if it's a gift card, honestly, I mean, if you are like not an outdoors person, and I know this, I'm not going to get you a Cabela's card. However, I'm an outdoors person, just saying.
So he's saying, get me a Cabela's card.
Just saying, it's there. If you don't like coffee, I'm not going to get you a coffee card.
Good idea.
I like
don't do
coffee.
that. Don't get me one of those.
Just saying. So yeah, I think there's some intentionality in carding people, but it sure has made us lazy because we just out of duty do it.
Church people, I must confess that most of you know at this point, if you've journeyed with my family at all, you know that I don't drink coffee at all. That is just not my thing. I don't like coffee.
It's
I don't want to
coming.
drink.
You will someday.
Yeah, okay. But Claudia would, if she was sitting right here right now, she would have smacked me just a second ago when I said, don't worry about getting me gift cards for coffee, because she loves it when I get gift cards for coffee, because guess who gets the coffee?
She scores.
My wife, who
Yeah.
drinks a lot of coffee.
There you go.
She's like you. She
Yep.
just, both of you,
Yeah.
the amount of
Really.
caffeine that goes into those veins. I mean, you might as well have a mainline drip.
Sometimes there is. So, but really, I mean, gift cards are easy, right? Our culture has
Sure.
started giving gift cards, and
It fits into what we've talked about a lot in
Yeah.
the hurried nature, the
rush.
impersonal nature of our culture has created the gift card phenomenon. I also would add that the greeting card phenomenon has been added into that
Yeah.
as well.
Yep.
Now, we have some awesome ladies here at Hermnaz who make greeting cards. They make them out of their, they craft them together
pretty
and
cool.
do that. And
3D.
yeah, and they're fantastic. And when we get them as pastors, it's one of those things where we know they spent a lot of time, effort, and thoughtfulness creating that card for us, that greeting card for us. I do have to admit though that most of the time when I receive just one you would get off the shelf at the Target or the Walmart
Dollar Tree.
or the Dollar Tree,
Oh,
most of the time you can tell which ones. I mean, you just look at the back and you can tell where they got them from. But I always have that reaction of, you couldn't think happy, Merry Christmas
Exactly.
or Happy Birthday yourself. But that is a tradition. My mom, I can remember when I was a kid, we had a door to our basement, right? And on the door to our basement, my mom would just plaster all of these greeting cards that we would get in the mail leading up to Christmas, and the whole door would be covered in these greeting cards. And I just remember thinking, this is kind of stupid. Like these are pieces of paper. Like, who cares? Throw them in the garbage.
yeah.
I
Well,
never understood the tradition.
Right, and I think in our home growing up, we would always just make a pile of them, right? It would just be a pile, and
And then you go burn them later.
I don't know whatever happened to them. My dad probably still has them. I don't know.
They're probably in a box somewhere.
But now that I'm married, one of the cool traditions that we have is my wife will take those and hang those like around somewhere in the house. And I don't know, it's kind of different. It's around a different archway or doorway. It seems like maybe every other
Or a
year
window.
or a window. But then through the course of the year, we've been known to take our pile of cards and pull a card out a day and pray for that family that gave us that card.
That's cool.
So that was pretty cool.
So there's another tradition.
Yeah.
Yeah, and full disclosure, when Pastor Eric and I, for any of our church people that are listening, when we receive a greeting card, I'm not saying that I, get flustered when I see the greeting card, because 99% of the time when our
No,
people,
You said 98 earlier.
okay, 98, 99, whatever, almost all the time when we receive a greeting card from our people here, there's like a book that has been written on the inside of that
You're
greeting
right.
card.
Right.
It's very,
True.
there is a very personal note or letter written to us, and that is very
Yeah,
appreciated.
good save there, because we're on the track of not getting any cards or gift cards this Christmas.
Yeah.
As a staff, so
We do
we love them.
I
just
can
saying.
I can testify, church, church family and friends, that when he receives a gift card for anything coffee or anything Cabela's since I've been here, like a smile just like, or I actually saw a picture just the other day from our pastor appreciation the first year I was here. And that was the year where we got all the cookies and donut holes
donuts,
and stuff. And I saw
Maple
this
bacon.
picture. You and I had opened this box of cookies, these ginormous.
Awesome.
I don't remember who got them for us. I think it was the Adams, but
Spot Donuts. We'll drop the name.
yeah. Well, the
these were the
cookies.
The cookie
Oh, the
company.
cookies.
Dough
Oh,
cookies.
Dough cookies. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And just the smile that was on our faces, like,
That's right.
You guys are so
hey,
funny.
there's a quick way to our heart. Food.
Sweet
Yep.
food.
Sweet, anything sweet,
All good.
or coffee for you. All right, so let's take a little turn here. We talked about how we spend a lot of money at Christmas, and we talked about. I think you kind of alluded to this, Gabe, that there's the warm, fuzzy feeling about being able to give a gift and watching somebody open it. When you spend, you said you spend a lot of time, either making something or, and your brother is this way, Gideon, but either making something or going and finding and searching out that gift. Why do you spend that much time and effort into that? Theoretically, the person would be just happy that they're getting something from you, right?
I guess, but I want it to be something they like or can use, not give someone garbage.
I said that earlier. That's why she's saying that.
Yeah.
Just
I
a
want it
preview of
to-
my sermon for this coming weekend.
I want it to be something like good that they appreciate, and it's not just gonna sit there doing nothing. So
So, Eric, we've been talking at Hermnaz now for a couple weeks. We're in the middle of a series called Christmas Reset. And we're not going to give you the sermons that we're going through over these next few weeks, but there is a principle that we've been talking about and we're going to continue to talk about, and it's this idea of resetting our mindset for Christmas. Where does spending less fit into a Christmas reset?
Well, it's the concept of getting our hearts reoriented on the Christmas narrative. We have a lot of things about Christmas that distract us, I think, from the narrative of the manger, of what Christ did. So the reorienting of our hearts, and the whole idea of reset is taking action to change where you are, to change the current condition of your heart. So that's the challenge for this Christmas. Change. If you need to change the course of your heart, change it. But really look at the Christmas narrative, and if you need to be reset. And I think taking the idea of spending less is going to make you appreciate your pennies all the more. So if you live on a budget, you're already doing that. But what would happen if we would just cut our budget in half? You're going to save money, and you're going to be able to really maybe give better gifts. So
Well, and so we found statistics, some statistics in these last few weeks that were pretty eye-popping to us, and one of them was they're identical number values, but for two different purposes for Christmas. One, we spend $1,000 of our own money every year at Christmas per person. Mm-hmm. I thought it was households, and when you said it was individuals, I was just
$9.98
shocked by that. But then we also saw that $1,000 per household in debt every Christmas on top of that. That's a lot of money and a lot of financial stewardship question being thrown into that. But I think there's something deeper that is going on when it comes to Christmas, because our overindulgence, our spending, has become just part of Christmas. Is it fair to say that has no place in Christmas? Not that giving gifts doesn't have a place in Christmas, not that spending some money doesn't have a place in Christmas, but the overindulgence has no place with Christmas, that it doesn't even find itself in the Christmas story?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, why?
Well, if you're overindulging on a lot of unnecessary stuff, to me, it's like, am I being a good steward of the money that I've worked for, or God's blessed me with. Like, surely there's other stuff I could be doing with this money. So, yeah, I don't see it overindulging in the Christmas story. I don't think so.
So I don't know if there's overindulging in the Christmas story more than there is overindulging in our Christmas story.
Yeah.
It's a good way to put it.
Our Christmas story is caught up in the culture of which we live. So the time difference between the narrative of the Christmas story and the culture of which we live, we have all these distractions that have come in, and we've bought into literally. See what I did there?
But
we've bought into the idea of hey, you know what? I have to give somebody this gift, but you know what? I have to make it really good. It's only $5 more. It's only $10 more. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I mean, there's a spouse that bought. Let's see, is this a good illustration? I'm trying to think of what.
Just do it without.
Yeah. Okay.
names.
So this is. I don't think this was this church. So
better hope not.
So anyway, so they buy it. They buy their spouse an ATV.
Oh yeah, you told the story
for Christmas. Did I tell it on the podcast?
You did.
Oh, I did. I'll show.
Yeah, so you can read. You can
I don't
redo
know
it.
it.
So they buy their spouse this ATV, and man, the spouse was just ecstatic. That when they got Christmas here and saw what they got, but their spouse put it all on the credit card, and now they're paying for it, and they went into all kinds of crazy silly debt because now they have this interest every month, and you don't buy an ATV on a credit card or on a loan, or you have cash on hand, you buy. That's indulging, right? But you've earned it. Well, not earned it, but you've worked for it, you've saved for it. But our culture says, hey, you know what? No, you want to give the bigger, best gift,
right?
And I think it's a lot of our overindulgence. I could be that guy because I like to make sure that the gift is good. When I could probably cut back about 80%, right? Because it's about giving something. I could be the overindulgent giver.
I know this is probably going to be shocking, but the reality is we don't have to give or get the next biggest thing for Christmas. Every Christmas, Black Friday is what Black Friday is because Apple, PlayStation, Xbox, TV companies, all these different manufacturers come out with their new 20 whatever the next year stuff, right? They do it right at that time so that you will overindulge, even though you may have an iPhone 12. Well, now the iPhone 13's out,
right?
Or I have the Xbox One, but now they have the Xbox One S or whatever. So we overindulge, and we think, our kids, this is something that is kind of a new phenomenon, but I want our kids to have it better than we had it. And Christmas is a great time for us to flesh that out with our kids, right? Well, my kid, when I was a kid, I never got this stuff, so let me get this stuff for my kids and go into absolute debt for it. Pastor Eric, would you say that it is pretty common in the church to within probably 2 or 3 weeks of Christmas, after Christmas, that nearly every church in the Western Hemisphere is doing some sort of sermon on stewardship? Many churches, let me say.
I'd say there's a lot of churches that are doing something on stewardship, but I don't know, just the way the culture is going, and I have nothing to base this on, right? I would say probably the majority of churches are not.
But it used to be that way.
It used to be that way.
Yeah. And would you say that the reason that we're in the problem we are in is because the church was talking about it too late?
Yeah, or we've bought into the assumption that mom and dad are going to teach it at home, and they never caught, mom and dad never caught the teaching from grandma and grandpa. Right?
Sure.
So grandma and grandpa taught it, they just didn't retain it. So yeah, I think so.
So as we wrap up this morning, one of the things that seems apparent to me, and you guys can correct me if I'm off base here, but Jesus was a gift to the human race. God did not have to send himself down to be the ransom for all, as we like to say. I mean, that's Christianese, but that's what he was. He was a ransom that had to be paid in order for us to have salvation. And it's really cheesy these days to hear that, well, Jesus is the reason for the season. I mean, you hear a lot of Christians say that at this time of year, and it just in one ear out the other for most people, including me. Yeah, duh. What does that actually mean for you? How does that actually change how you're going to live your life? Like, if you're going to continue to buy thousands of dollars worth of stuff at Christmas every year, including your lights and decorations and Christmas villages and all of that stuff, tree skirts and whatever, if it's not going to change you, the fact that Jesus is the reason for the season, then why even say the phrase to begin with?
I'm giving you a chance, Gabe.
And also, why buy all those Christmas decorations and silly presents? Yeah, why? I don't know. That's where I've been thinking. I don't know. Why? Why do it? Why not do something more meaningful?
So I think with you struggling on that answer is exactly where our culture's at. We don't know why we do what we do, and we don't know why we spend what we spend. We just know that this is what you're supposed to do. And I think we fall into the trap of there's so many traditions. And if you're watching today, those of you that are watching, you have your traditions, you have your families, you have your kids, your grandparents, your neighbors, your co-workers, schoolmates, whatever. You've got traditions with all of them and how you give gifts and what you spend and the budget you have. But don't fall in the trap of making Jesus a tradition. Jesus is not tradition. He's the reason for the season of January, of February, of summer, spring, fall. For every season, Jesus is the reason for. So don't make Jesus just this traditional thing just because it's Christmas. And that's, I think, one thing that just kind of is out in at least in I think it goes beyond the church, actually, because even secular world's trying to take Jesus out of Christmas, right? Because they know there's something powerful there. There's something that's offensive to them, which sin is offensive, and Jesus is offensive, and the cross is offensive. But our lives have got to get to the point to where they are a testimony of this Jesus that we say we worship. And I think how we spend at Christmas, people are watching. The world is watching us as Christians and going like, okay, how come you don't do this all year round? Okay, it's a birthday party. There's always a gift, right? There's always, that warm, sentiment that said, or the text message that explodes when you open, or whatever.
I love that, by the way.
But we need to be people of faith. We need to be Jesus, followers that are saying, man, my life's got to be a testimony to this manger, this child that was laying in this stable, and not just make him a tradition, but make him part of the life that we say we want to live.
So one of the things that we want to challenge you with as we close, we will be back next week, but you both will not be here. You will be adios, senor and senorita.
Yeah.
You will be,
I'll be broke.
Actually, this will be wedding day.
This will be wedding day next week. That's
That is so crazy.
Yep.
So we'll be, I don't know.
It just still it still floors me that I saw him just 2.5 months ago, and he was a single man, and now all of a sudden he's getting married.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
he's known her longer.
He wasn't single, but he was not married. Right. Is what I mean.
Right.
But as we close, I just want to give a couple practical things that we're doing. The three of us, I guess it would be three things that we're doing practically to challenge them that there might be something that they can reset in their life and do differently to make their Christmas season this year something different, something more impactful, something transformative. So I'll start. One of the things that I have focused my life on this Christmas is to my family is rethinking how we do gifting. And this is probably going to sound really radical, but it is what we're doing. My daughter and my younger daughter can't talk really yet, so she doesn't count. But my older daughter went to her grandparents and told her grandparents that she did not want them to get her gifts this year, that she wanted them to send whatever they were going to spend for her Christmas gifts to our church because our church is doing a clean water well project. Our goal is to have 10 clean water wells in Asia through the Christmas Water Project, and she wants to affect that change. And we as a family decided we're going to do the same thing. And so my wife and I are not buying each other gifts for Christmas. We're not buying, well, our kids will get gifts, that's for sure. But we're not going to be having our typical Christmas. We're investing in the lives of people who need it a whole lot more than we do, because the reality is my kids have everything they need. My wife and I have everything we need. We don't need another phone case or whatever.
I
slippers.
do. I need a phone case.
You do actually need a phone case. That thing is
Shredded.
You know they really don't cost that much. You can go to Walmart.
I need a gift card.
Although you do have a wedding next week that you have to go to, so I can understand. Maybe that'll be my gift to you this year is a new phone case. What phone is that? An iPhone 3?
Probably. I think it's a 4.
All right, Gabrielle. What are you doing this season to have a Christmas reset?
Yeah, well, kind of like you in a way. I don't think we're really doing gifts much at our family. For one, there's a wedding, so I think we're kind of tapped out anyway. But yeah, I think instead of me like buying gifts for my family, I will give that money to the well water project. And I do think it is nice to show someone you love them and appreciate them. And so I think for gifts, I will make or do something for those people. I won't go buy something because I feel like I have to, but obviously I won't spill all my secrets here on the podcast because
I'm not listening.
Some of them are pretty good, I think.
But you're taking the intentional initiative to make gifts.
Yeah, I don't want to buy anything. I have stuff at home. Will do a way to serve them instead of buying a gift. So I'm excited about it. I think, and now I see commercials obviously so many commercials for Christmas, and I've turned into just an observer mode. So I'm just watching these. They're not gonna affect me. I'm not on the hunt for gifts. And it's very different, and it's just mind blowing how consumeristic we are, and I don't like it. So I like this very intentional, simple Christmas, and it's pretty good.
Cool.
So I just was in one of our stores, and I could not believe the chaos on a morning like this, and
on a Monday or a Tuesday morning,
and be able to say,
"That's crazy."
Here, why am I here? I even texted my wife and said, "Why am I here today?" I mean, it was just kind of a step back to look, because kind of the same mindset. I'm not looking for gifts. However, I think my reset is I am giving gifts this Christmas. I'm taking the water challenge, but I'm taking the approach that it's probably going to be matching.
Cool.
So what I spend is going, to family and friends, but then I'll match it to the water. And what I've already seen that do is go yeah, you know what? They can get by with $2,
So let me expound on that for a second, because I think that's interesting. And we haven't really been able to expound on this on a Sunday morning with our people quite yet. But the matching idea is a really interesting one. So not saying that you would spend $1,000 for Christmas, but let's just use that as a number. Okay.
Yeah.
So you normally would spend $1,000. And so now you're talking $500 will be for gifts, and instead of spending $1,000 on gifts, the other $500 will go to the water project.
Right.
Is that fair?
Yep.
Okay. So now would it stand to reason then that you are going to have to be much more thoughtful in that $500 how you're going to spend? Because you really have two routes. You either can be more thoughtful, or you can just be a cheapskate and buy nothing.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're going to use your pennies a little more wisely. It's kind of like if you work off of a cash lifestyle. Those of you that live on cash or try to live on cash, you know what it's like to run out of cash, and you can't live after that. So we try to live on cash as much as we can, and not do the credit card thing in debt each month. So it's kind of the same principle I'm feeling right now. Is okay. I would buy this person this gift normally, and I've already had to go back and go, yeah, what else can I do? And so it is. I'm saving more, which means I'm going to give more, and the love still goes on. So, yeah. It's been good.
Yeah, there are 4 principles that we're talking through this Christmas season, and I just want to give them to you as we close. Number 1, to worship fully. We want to spend our Christmas season worshiping God because this season ultimately is about Him. If you read the Christmas story, every character in the Christmas story is worshiping.
Yep. There's an element of worship there.
Yep. From the shepherds who were stinky, viewed as criminals. I mean, they were just not highly viewed folk. The angel of the Lord appears to them, and they go worship the Christ child. You have these magi from the east coming, these astrologers coming to worship the Christ child, give him gifts. That's incredible. You have Mary and Joseph, who at any point could have said, yeah, no, not going to do this. And yet they chose to follow God and glorify God through that. And it's pretty amazing. Really the only character in the Christmas story who does not worship and was lying about his worship of God is Herod.
Yeah, but even though he was lying about it, though, Jesus was still the center of it.
And he did ultimately recognize Jesus as a authority threat. Mm-hmm. He did recognize the reality of who Jesus was.
Yep.
And then the second one is to spend less, which is what we've talked about here today. Really encouraging our people to just take that challenge of looking at your finances, and don't let Christmas be dominated by Christmas itself. Let Christmas be dominated by Jesus Christ and Him being the center of your Christmas. And then the third one is give more. And because we spend less, it gives us the opportunity to give more, which is basically what you said.
Exactly what I'm learning as I'm thinking.
Yeah. And then the last one is love all. Jesus came on that Christmas because He loved humanity so much. He loved His creation so much that He knew, like, this is the beginning of the Easter season. That's really what Christmas is. Christmas would be nothing if there was no Easter. Easter makes Christmas important. And so we cannot come to Christmas without looking at the reality that Jesus is going to be tortured. Jesus is going to suffer greatly. He's going to be murdered, but He's also going to rise again. And that's why we celebrate Christmas.
Yep.
Because He loved us.
Yep. And the whole idea of Advent is the coming, and here we are waiting for the second time.
Yep.
Right? So
it's pretty cool.
It's good. So keep your traditions focused on Jesus because it starts with Him, ends with Him, and everything in the middle better be about Him. So
thank you, Gabe, for joining us today.
Yeah.
We are glad to have you.
Yeah. You need to talk
Thanks.
more.
Okay.
Thanks. That's it.
This is your second time with the two of us. That was pretty cool.
It's true.
Yeah. Except
Pretty
for
good.
you didn't bring us coffee today.
Nope. I made my own in the office.
Yep.
So you will be back the week before Christmas.
Only that's depending on snow.
Your goal is to be here by that Tuesday, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, no, my goal is to be here by Christmas Eve, I guess.
Good plan.
So yeah, I'm off for 2 weeks.
Okay. So we will see Eric after Christmas on the podcast. I will be back. I have a special guest in mind for next week.
Is it a dancing cactus again, or?
Well, he might make it. Actually, I should have brought him out. He's still in my office.
It's the Christmas cactus. Next week's fine.
But no. Somebody that we have talked about on the podcast several times is finally going to be making his appearance on the show.
Good.
He would have made his appearance 2 weeks in a row, but I don't know if he's going to be able to do that. But he'll definitely be here next week.
Sweet.
So I'm really excited about that. If you've watched our podcast enough, you probably know who I'm talking about. So anyway, we will see you guys next week on The Morning Burrito. If we don't see you, have a great Christmas.
Merry Christmas.